Good morning. It's time for Daily Chapel at the LCMS International Center in St. Louis. The text is John chapter 4, verses 46 through 54. The Reverend Daenzer is preaching. The broadcast of chapel is underwritten by LCMS International Mission and Ministry to the Armed Forces.
A reading from John, the 4th chapter. Jesus came again to Galilee, in Cana in Galilee, where he had made the water wine. And at Capernaum there was an official whose son was ill. When this man heard that Jesus had come from Judea to Galilee, he went to him and asked him to come down and heal his son, for he was at the point of death. So Jesus said to him, "Unless you see signs and wonders, you will not believe." The official said to him, "Sir, come down before my child dies." Jesus said to him, "Go, your son will live." The man believed the word that Jesus spoke to him and went on his way. As he was going down, his servants met him and told him that his son was recovering. So he asked them the hour when he began to get better, and they said to him, "Yesterday at the 7th hour the fever left him." The father knew that was the hour when Jesus had said to him, "Your son will live." And he himself believed, and all his household. This was now the second sign that Jesus did, when he had come from Judea to Galilee. O Lord, have mercy on us.
Thanks be to God.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Today is Veterans Day. Today is also the day the church remembers St. Martin of Tours, who himself was a veteran, although he hung up the sword and became a pastor in the church. And I suppose it would have been perfect if today's reading was that other healing of the son that Jesus had, right? With the centurion who said he understood how this works. He knows the Lord says come, and they come, and go, and they go. It all would have fit together so perfectly. It just would have, been like a sign. That's not how it went. Instead, we just have a pretty boring story, I guess, where Jesus just heals a guy. He's not even there for the action. But that's exactly the point that Jesus is trying to make here. He's frustrated. He's frustrated that unless you see signs and wonders, you'll never believe. He's frustrated in advance of what he knows is coming, when pretty soon they'll seek to make him a bread king. That's all they're after, isn't it? The loaves. They only believe because they saw the signs and wonders. Well, when the Son of Man returns, there'll be all sorts of signs and wonders. But will he find faith on earth? That's what he's after. Now, this official comes along, doesn't he? He hears the Lord's rebuke. He prays desperately, free of all commands, that the Lord has to come to him. He has to make a big show of it or something. And he believes the word that Jesus spoke to him. Of course, in a way, this is a greater sign, since it happens at a distance, although it simply shows us that this is the very Lord who rules everywhere. He's not only reigning at the headquarters of great church bodies. He's not only reigning when lots of people are gathered. He's not only reigning when people are winning and happy. And he works just as well in Capernaum as he does in Cana. And as the Lord is delighted to show throughout the New Testament, he's delighted even to work in Galilee, not just in Judea. So the message is of simple providence, that the Lord is constantly caring for us, not necessarily in dramatic and miraculous ways, although I suppose if we stop to think about it, it's quite astounding. But even in the ordinary, constant, continuing, unseen ways, the Lord guards his own. The Lord's word proves true. And he calls on us to believe it. Because when has he ever abandoned us? When has he not cared for us? When does the Lord not keep his promises? This is an important lesson for us to learn, because it is our sinful flesh's desire to look for the flashy stuff, to look for the big moments, That the only kind of thanksgiving we give to God is when we've seen something really great happen, then we want to talk about how God was at last at work in my life. I saw it that moment. Even though he was, of course, at work in everything else, or else he'd be no God at all. It's important even in the preaching, because when we gather, I suppose, here for famous preachers, or when we gather at conventions, that's what all of us are working on, we expect a flashy event. We expect a really great preacher to really wow us. I suppose that's why you go to Cana in Galilee to see this guy who I've heard a lot about, Jesus of Nazareth. But the Lord is doing his greatest work in his word to strengthen, to create, to nourish, to sustain your faith till the last day in your churches, with your pastors. Maybe they're not flashy. In fact, we see something amazing. When the Father comes back, he believes, and his whole household believes with him. And they didn't get a chance to go to Cana. They didn't get to see Jesus and hear him. They're believing the report just of this Father. And that creates and sustains faith also. So let us rejoice today, not in the flashy, not in a great alignment of stars, but in the simple. The Lord's word proves true. The Father has given his Son into death to restore us. And we should trust him. And we could recognize constantly the great ways that he cares for us, that he preserves us, most of all, that he has not let our faith fail even to this day. But even if we don't see anything flashy, God be praised for his word. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Thank you for joining us for Chapel. The broadcast of Chapel is underwritten by LCMS International Mission and Ministry to the Armed Forces. To learn more about LCMS International Mission and Ministry to the Armed Forces, visit kfuo.org/chapel.